Hi, my name is Bill Johnson, and I am going to be talking about tort liability. Tort liability is based on the legal premise that individuals are liable for consequences of their own conduct or lack thereof conduct when such actions result in the injury. In the school setting, most of this revolves around two different types of tort. They could be intentional tort or negligent tort. The first case that we're going to look at is Frame versus, I'm going to say, Camus. And Camus basically was a substitute teacher, and he was giving a spelling test, and many of the students were talking during the test. He asked some of them to leave to go to the office. They did. All of them left except for one student by the name of Frame. Frame kind of resisted, became belligerent, and stood up, faced the teacher. They grabbed him by the arm to try to escort them out of the room. There, it fell down and caused some problems. And later, they filed suit against Camus' actions for assault and battery. The court ruled in favor of the substitute teacher, mainly because the court said it was necessary to maintain and facilitate the learning process that he be removed. The reflection of this case, what would happen if this happened in my school? The principal and the parents would definitely want an explanation, understandably so. And if the substitute was a well-trusted individual, probably there much wouldn't happen from that. Proactively, I would like to train all staff that the principal would be the only one to forcefully remove someone from the class and describe a professional set of ethics. If that was listed and written down, it would help to limit the tort. Next case was Flanagan versus Canton Central School District, 2009. Flanagan was a fifth grade student participating in gym class. And in this gym class, the students were getting rowdy. The teacher stopped the class, lectured them about following directions and listening, and then sent them to the locker room to change before the teacher could get into the locker room because he stayed back to visit with another student in the gym for a little bit. There was an accident that occurred. Flanagan was pushed down, and his injuries resulted in an emergency splenectomy. The mom sued the school district for negligence of the supervising teacher, and the court agreed that the teacher was negligent because on that particular day with the rowdy students, the teacher owed the students a greater duty of supervision. If this happened in my school, the parents definitely probably would have sued the school because it was a major effect, and the principal and the teacher would have some serious conversations about supervision. Proactively would be train all PE teachers that supervision in the locker room is required. And again, if we would write this down in a professional set of ethics, liability action would be lessened. The next case, in case 3, was Home versus Manhattan Beach. Home was a 10-year-old student who was attending summer school. He went to school on a particular day, but he actually left before the school premises before the end of the day. At a public intersection, he was struck by a motorcycle, which caused him some very serious injuries. The family sued the school, alleging the accident was approximate caused by the district's negligence of the supervision of the student. The court ruled in favor of the family, and they said that a 10-year-old boy should have been supervised a lot better than what the school did. And they ruled in his favor. If this happened in my school, the parents definitely probably would have filed suit. There would have been a lot of meetings with staff and faculty about how we're going to supervise. Proactively, you're going to train students, staff to monitor the students at all times, so this would not happen. And then we would write the professional set of ethics so that we would follow them. Case number 4, Daly versus the Los Angeles Unified School. 2 unsupervised students, and this is kind of a landmark court case dating all the way back to 1970, participated in a slap boxing game during the lunch hour. The students were doing this in the gymnasium. One of them fell, hit their head, and actually later died. This Court action ruled in favor of the family, mainly because this was a very large school district and there was not adequate supervision during the lunch period, and the injuries sustained probably could have been prevented if teacher supervision would have been there. Like I said, this is a landmark court case dating all the way back to 1970. If this happened in my school, we would have a total change in how students are released for lunch would be the reactive. The proactive, we would have staff that was supervision would be placed around the building at lunch hour and before and after school at certain times, and we would write this out so that it would be followed. The fifth case was Barnett versus Caldwell. Two students were engaged in horseplay in Benjamin E. Mays High School in the state of Georgia. This horseplay happened when the teacher left the classroom to use the restroom very quickly. When she left the classroom, she asked for another teacher to listen for her class. The horseplay resulted in Williams lacerated a major blood vessel by a dislocated collarbone when they kind of jumped on him. He later died from those injuries. Williams sued Mrs. Caldwell for wrongful death based on negligent supervision when she left the classroom. In this court action, they ruled in favor of the teacher because her absence from the classroom was a discretionary act. This is called an act involving personal judgment and deliberation. This entitled her, the court says, to official immunity from the duty of supervising the students. In the classroom, Georgia law states that student supervision is generally a discretionary measure. So even though this may not have been the best thing for the teacher to do, she is not held liable for this action. If this happened in my school, teachers would not be allowed to leave the classroom for any reason and would be the initial reactive. The proactive would be provide a teacher administrator to help give bathroom breaks to teachers when needed. And we would write this all out so that it could be followed and all parties would be held accountable in the professional manner. Thank you very much for watching my video.